What's up, everyone? My name is Michael DeLu. All right, and I want to thank you for even clicking on this episode of my podcast. Before I get to the episode, I would just like to ask that if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, comment on the video because it helps me tremendously in obtaining my long-term goals. All right, enjoy the episode. Let's go! Yes! All right, so my name is Michael DeLu. This is episode 72 of Pull Up the Tape. Today is October 11th, Monday, October 11th, and I'm really excited to get to this. Honestly, I've been waiting all weekend to do this. Today's Monday, meaning yesterday was Sunday. Sunday is football day. There is great matchups around the NFL all day long. Sunday night football, the evening games, the morning games. So I'm going to get into the three of the best games, three of the most influential games, three of the games that dealt with the most relevant teams. You know, sometimes every week when it comes to a certain point in the NFL, you got teams matching up against trash-ass teams. It's not too often you see two really good teams playing every single week. So those are the ones I try to focus on during Monday's episode of the podcast. So I'm gonna get to that first. But before I get to those games, I got to get into soccer because yesterday was the UEFA Nations League final featuring France and Spain. So I'm gonna get into that real quick, and then we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty that happened on the gridiron yesterday. So France beat Spain in the Nations League final 2-1. And let me be the first to say the first half was nothing to sing about, nothing to write off. It was really, really I never want to call a defensive a game where no one scores in the first. I don't ever want to call it boring. I feel like that's a disservice to the sport. Anytime that was boring because nobody scored, because there can be games where no one scores and it's a defensive masterclass. There's saves all over the places. There's still even over the course of a game, there's still going to be points where you see people's class and you see people's skills step out. And you know, soccer players are amongst some of the talented players in the world. So I never want to call that boring, but nevertheless, in a final, you definitely would love to see more goals, which is why the second half was so critical and so needed and so great, honestly. So the second half started, and you could definitely tell that the teams were more inspired to create more chances and move forward. And because in the first half, definitely France, which it didn't really make sense to me why this was France's and Didier Deschamps' game plan was to kind of essentially park the bus and just only create chances on the counter, which doesn't really make sense to me because France has some of the best attacking players in the world. Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema are two of the top 10 players in the whole entire world when it comes to soccer. Kylian Mbappe has obviously been one of the top players since coming to PSG, and the fact that was their game plan was just a little odd to me because they can create chances, they can keep possession, they can press teams high, and I wasn't too sure why exactly. And then, you know, even though this Spain side is strong, it's definitely nothing. They are stronger than what they have been in the past recent years because, you know, 2014 to 2018 is kind of like a really, really rough era for Spanish football. But nevertheless, they're a decent. I wouldn't say they're a strong side. They're a decent side. I mean, even the fact that they were able to beat Italy was a little shocking. Not even a little shocking to me. It was very shocking to me. But nevertheless, they did it. So I definitely felt like France was gave Spain way too much respect and all that stuff. Like, they were definitely the better side, and I feel like their game plan should have shown that from the jump, but it didn't. Nevertheless, second half starts, and definitely the game flips over, and it's definitely more chances are being created by both teams, more everything, more opportunities, more passes. The pitch is getting spread open because more people are picking out passes and, you know, definitely being more creative in their approach to try and get forward and score. So the chance I'm specifically talking about is Karim Benzema creates a chance, And, in the 60th minute, this is around the 60th minute where everything started to change. France created a golden opportunity, which results in Karim Benzema hitting the post. And then only seconds later, the Spaniards are able to recoup. Sergio Busquets picks out, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Oyarzabal. Mike, he plays for Valencia. So I don't want to ruin his name, but he slots past a shot past Hugo Lloris after shrugging off Upamecano. Like, he just threw him to the side, scored, and just like that, Spain is up 1-0. But only moments later, France equalizes because Karim Benzema creates an amazing shot off his right foot only minutes after. And that might be one of the best goals I've ever seen Karim Benzema score. And it's crazy to see not how amazing he's playing. It's not surprising, but Karim Benzema it seems like he's been on a mission since coming back from the Euros in this summer. He has looked incredible. He's been the man for Real Madrid. He's by far their best player, most informed player and best player. He continues to bag goals, and he carried that same form that he's had. It hasn't faltered at all. It looks like, honestly, if he keeps this up, he's neck. In my opinion, as of right now, he's neck for neck with Lewandowski for best strikers in the world. Him, Lewandowski, and probably Romelu Lukaku. When he's in form, he's impossible to stop as well. But like I said, Karim Benzema has turned it up this season. Seems to be in an extra gear. I'm not honest. I honestly don't even know what happened or why, but I can't deny that it's been a while since I've seen him play at such a high level. And the resurgence that he's had within the national team with France is incredible to see. And I see him having a very, very critical role in their World Cup, in their 2022 World Cup team, their campaign, because he missed the last World Cup. He played in the 2014 World Cup. He's going to be an issue. He's going to be a problem. And it is really, really, like I said in the last podcast, it was really, really good to see him creating such amazing chemistry with Kylian Mbappe, because these are some of the first time, like the Euros were the first time they ever shared the pitch together. They have never been on the same pitch together as teammates or anything like that. So seeing them play like this together, and they're creating chemistry that in my opinion, they're going to take to Real Madrid next season when Kylian Mbappe signs for them, is incredible. So he scores that goal, levels it up. It's 1-1, and then in the 80th minute, something around along those lines. It looks like, and I'm gonna say looks like. I keep emphasizing looks like, because when I was watching the highlights, it definitely looked like Kylian Mbappe was offsides when he scored in like the 86th minute. But after further review, they had to go to VAR to make sure and confirm. But after further review, he was being played onside by Marcus Alonso's shoulder. He gets the ball from Thiago Hernandez, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name. He plays him, and he gets a one-on-one situation with Unai Simon, and he dribbles, does a little fancy footwork, and then slots it in for the game winner, and then runs to go celebrate with the French fans. And it was honestly a great sight to see. So, and obviously winning the Nations League it's not I don't want to say it's not a big deal, but it's definitely not the Euros, and it's definitely not the World Cup. So this is definitely France redeeming themselves, because like I said, I did not like the way they went out in the Euros. I definitely feel like France is too much of a quality side to ever go out in any competition at any point before the like I said, anything before the semifinals is considered as a letdown, honestly, because like I said, they have too many quality players: Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, Olivier Giroud, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba. I mean, Binkembe, Upamecano, Hugo Lloris. They have too many really good players to ever, like, I can't even. How many teams can you name that are as deep as France? Like, not England, probably Germany. I mean, Belgium, but Belgium, I don't really trust them anymore after what I've seen. Don't trust Germany. Spain still isn't as strong as they could be, but nevertheless, it is what it is. This is a step in the right direction for France, considering they did fumble the Euros. I don't know when the last time, I can't remember off the top of my head when the last time France won the Euros, but they were heavily favored to win this one. And the fact that they didn't, I don't think anybody gave Italy a chance to win this. And the fact that they were able to do that, props to them. But great game. Happy for France. And yeah. Oh, and another thing I want to note. Rafael Varane limped off in the 43rd minute. And I'm never one to be happy about anybody being injured, but this is definitely, I'm not happy at all. This is definitely gonna, if he misses time, will definitely impact everything that Manchester United is working for this season, because he by far is their best center back. Like, Harry Maguire's ass cheeks. Oh my God, Harry Maguire's ass cheeks is not worth the money that Manchester United paid for him last season. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably going to be sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? But nevertheless, I hope that's one of the things I want to point out. I hope that he's able to. I hope that he's going to be all right, and that he's able to come back healthy and be back by Saturday, because international break is going to be over. Premier League is back. Champions League is back the next week. So I'm really looking forward to all that. I'm going to be reporting that live to you guys as soon as these games are happening. So now I want to get into football. Okay. So, and it's crazy because so you feel me? I got the fresh cut. Feel me? I'm looking suave. Yes, sir. Looking like your grandma want me, your mama want me, your sister want me, your aunties want me. But before I got this cut, shout out to Keith, my man's Keith. Keith's shop is on Western and Manchester. If anybody's interested, Keith hooks it up. He's a great barber. One of the things Keith asked me right before I got this cut was exactly what was going to happen in this game that I'm going to talk about right now. So the game that I'm going to talk about is the Bills versus the Chiefs. And the Bills whooped the fuck out the Chiefs, 38-20. And one of the things that he asked me was, first of all, he asked me who do I think is going to win. I told him I want the Bills to win. I want the Bills to get a statement win. I feel like the Bills are a much better team than they were last season. And one of the things I emphasize to Keith is, damn, the Chiefs defense is fucking terrible. Like, terrible. And we both agreed that, well, Keith brought this up and I agreed wholeheartedly, was if the Bills win, teams will not fear the Chiefs like they have in the past couple of years. You know what I mean? Like all that brilliant offense, all that shit. It's pretty much out the door now. Like they don't scare anybody anymore. Essentially, like the way they did in 2018, where they scared a lot of teams because they had so much offensive firepower. 2019, 2020, but this year the team just doesn't look the same for various reasons. And let me start off by saying, props to the Bills. The Bills came into Arrowhead and did their shit. I'm going to be the first to say the Bills are the best team in the AFC. The Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC. I'm going to say it again. The Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC. Josh Allen, oh my God. Josh, I think it's so crazy because every time I think of Josh Allen, like one of the first things that comes to mind is I'm a Jaguars fan. One of the first things that comes to mind is Jalen Ramsey's GQ interview just ahead of the 2018-2019 season, where he said, "Oh yeah, Big Ben's trash, Matt Ryan's trash." Just was calling different quarterbacks trash, just some of them, and then like even the ones that were good, he said, I mean, he doesn't suck. He said that's what he said about Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't suck. So one of the first things one of the things he said about Josh Allen is like, he's not good whatsoever. I don't even understand how he got drafted in the first round. He went to Wyoming. Wyoming's not good. Wyoming's nothing, essentially. So I'm a Jaguars fan, and Jalen Ramsey is my dog. Like, I'll fuck with him so much. Can't wait to the time where I actually get to sit down and interview him, because I just watched his interview, $1 million worth of game. Very, very interesting, very intriguing. Can't wait till I'm on that level. But to see that Josh Allen is not any of those things that he said. And Josh Allen is having, like, Josh Allen, right? In my opinion, MVP frontrunners as of right now are Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. And to see that Josh Allen has stepped his game, like, I thought last year he looked great. This year he looks even better. Oh my God. Josh Allen did an amazing job. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 touchdown on the ground. And the Bills as a team put pressure on the Chiefs all game long. Never let up. Never let up. The play calling was impeccable. The defense was impeccable. The execution was impeccable. Great team win. Great team win. Great team win. And the Bills went out there and proved a fucking statement. We do not give a fuck what you guys did last season, the season before that, and the season before that. We are here. Like, we are here. They told the Chiefs straight up. Like, the Chiefs. It is so crazy to think. Oh my God. But the Chiefs, I'll get into the Chiefs later. First thing I want to do is give credit to where credit is due. Definitely, I don't know who came. I don't know what the line was or whatever, but I definitely should have bet on the fucking Bills. I just felt it in my soul that the Chiefs defense was just way too fucking garbage for the Chiefs to be able to win yesterday's game. I just honestly, in my heart of hearts, felt the Chiefs defense was way too garbage to win yesterday's game. But Josh Allen had 15 of 26, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. He had 11 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. The first touchdown he actually scored was on the ground. On a design QB run where shout out to the Bills Shout out to the Bills offensive line. They are something. The Bills offensive line is something. The Bills offensive line is something. Oh my God. And then the Bills were able to muster up some sort of ground game, which I honestly feel like needs to improve as the season wears on. They can't be they don't want, like, one thing I try to emphasize to teams, don't be too reliant on your one-trick pony. The Bills shouldn't be too reliant on Josh Allen. The Chiefs shouldn't be too reliant on Patrick Mahomes. The Packers shouldn't be too reliant on Aaron Rodgers. The Cardinals shouldn't be too reliant on Kyler Murray because they're not going to have good games every single game. Nevertheless, the Bills did handle their business. Zach Moss, 11 carries, 37 yards. Devin Singletary, 6 carries, 25 yards. Would definitely want more from my from my 2 backs because, like I said, Josh Allen should not, say it again, Josh Allen should not be the leading rusher for the team. Your quarterback should never be the leading rusher for the team. Even when Lamar Jackson does it, your quarterback should not be the leading receiver for your team. Not leading receiver, leading rusher for your team. Let me get into receivers. Dawson Knox, oh my God, he had such a big game. 3 receptions for 117 yards and a tub. Stephon Diggs, pretty quiet game, 2 receptions for 69 yards. One of them was a 64-yarder. Zach Moss, 3 receptions for 55 yards. Even though he didn't do too much in a ground game, he added some through the air. Emmanuel Sanders, 3 receptions, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Okay, salute to Josh Allen. Salute. The Bills' offensive line gave Josh Allen clean pockets all game long, was creating lanes for Josh Allen to run through, was the guards were pulling, the center pulling. Like, everybody was a great team. The defense, great job. Defense forced 4 fucking turnovers. 3 turnovers. Special teams forced 1. Great team win by the Bills. And they did it on the road. They went into Arrowhead and made a fucking statement. Great team win by the Bills. And to the fucking Chiefs. Oh my God. First of all. The Chiefs got dominated from start to finish. The start of the game to the end of the game were thoroughly outplayed. It wasn't even close. By far one of the worst games I've ever seen the Chiefs play over the course of the past 3 years. By far one of the worst games the worst game I've ever seen them play for sure is the Super Bowl, but nothing can get as bad as that. That shit was bad. And first of all, the Chiefs, as I said, this is not the same. This is not the same Kansas City Chiefs because their defense is just as bad as their first year of Patrick Mahomes being a starter. But the difference is their offense is giving away the ball. Like that's not that it's so un-Patrick Mahomes, like, you know what I mean? Like for him to be turning the ball over, throwing interceptions, fumbling the ball. The reason why the Chiefs lost this game is because they turned the ball over too many times and their defense fucking sucks. It's just that simple. That's why they lost. They turned the ball over too many times and their defense is not good. Defense is atrocious. Defense is ass. Okay? The turnovers. They had a fumble on kickoff. Patrick Mahomes threw an interception. Patrick Mahomes threw a pick six. And Patrick Mahomes fumbled. That's 3 turnovers on Patrick Mahomes by himself. 3 of them. And as I said, the defense can't stop anyone. Listen to this. Listen to this. Week 1, the Browns put up 29 points. Week 2, the Baltimore Ravens put up 36 points. Week 3, the Chargers put up 30 points. Week 4, Philly put up 30 points. Week 5, the Bills put up 38 points. In the past 4 games, the Chiefs defense has let up 30 points. I mean, yesterday was 23 because the Bills defense got a pick 6. But the thing is, you're not going to win games. And people have been, and I've been stressing this from the jump. You're not going to win games when your defense is this bad. And then if your defense is this, like, Patrick Mahomes right now is going through what Drew Brees was going through, where it's like, okay, I have to wake up and every Sunday, I have to score at least 35 points or it's a guarantee we're not going to win the game. Like, that's ludicrous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And that's sad. That is sad. Chris Jones didn't play, but I don't think he would have made that big of a difference. You guys want to know why? Because Daniel Sorensen is so fucking garbage. I don't know how, bro. Oh my God. I've got Daniel Sorensen gave up 2 plays of over 60 yards by himself. He gave up a touchdown to Dawson Knox and gave up the Stephon Diggs only relevant catch that he made all game long. Daniel Sorensen was the key ingredient in both those plays. He is so fucking garbage. I do not even understand how he's a start. Why he's starting. Why does he start? Why does Daniel Sorensen start? Can someone explain that to me? Why does Daniel Sorensen start? Number 49 for the Chiefs. He's fucking garbage. He's nothing. The teams, and just like he said, if the Chiefs lose this game, teams will just not respect the Chiefs. And that's and I visibly have been able to see that. Teams don't respect the Chiefs or fear the Chiefs anymore. And the Chiefs have not been the same team since they lost in the Super Bowl. It's day and night. It's day and night. The Chiefs don't look the same. No one fears them. Look, peep this. The Ravens in week 2 went for it on 4th down against the Chiefs defense because they knew they would pick it up. The Chargers went for it on 4th down. Teams don't respect the Chiefs anymore. No one's scared of them anymore. Like all that those gimmick plays and all that stop it Tyreek Hill and all that shit. Like no one's worried about that shit anymore. Teams are just like, all right, look, we're gonna double Tyreek Hill on fucking damn near every possession. We're gonna give the corner safety help up top. And we're gonna just dare. We're gonna pressure Patrick Mahomes. We're gonna get in his face. We're gonna. That's honestly they're literally doing exactly. Teams are just gonna keep looking at the tape from the Super Bowl and be like, all right, whatever the Bucs did, let's try our very best to replicate the exact same thing. Even though we don't have the exact same personnel, but the Bucs gave the entire NFL the blueprint on how to stop the fucking Chiefs. Chiefs looked terrible last night from start to finish. As constructed, they're not a Super Bowl contender. They can probably still make the playoffs, but this team, the way it's constructed now, nope, they're not winning shit. Nope, not winning shit. Not the same team for various reasons. I can't. I'm not like. And the biggest thing is not Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs defense. Chiefs defense can't stop shit. They're even worse than they were last year, the year before that, and might be just as bad as the first year Patrick Mahomes was a starter. And the past 3 games, Patrick Mahomes is continuously turning the ball over. Shit that he doesn't usually do. So that type of That's a recipe for failure and disaster. And then, like I said, when you have to wake up as your quarterback and know that you have to score at least 35 points to win a game, because think about it, for the Chiefs to win all these games, the whole season, week 1 they had to score 31 points, 30 points at the very least. Week 2, for them to have won that game, they would have to have scored 37 points. Week 3, 31 points. Week 4, 31 points. Yesterday, 39 points. That's way too much. And then on top of that, Patrick Mahomes is turning the ball over. Yesterday, he accounted for 3 turnovers by himself. Nothing. Patty Mahomes, 33 of 54, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also was a leading rusher, 8 carries, 61 yards. As I've said before, if your quarterback is your leading rusher, that's terrible. That's bad. You're not going to win any fucking games, in my opinion. You're not going to win any games with like that. That just honestly doesn't cut it. McCole Hardman, they got nothing from their backs. Nothing from their backs. Darrell Williams, nothing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, nothing. McCole Hardman, 9 receptions, 76 yards. Tyreek Hill, 7 receptions, 63 yards. Quiet game. Travis Kelce, 60. 6 receptions, 57 yards, and a touchdown. And yeah, the Chiefs just got dominated. Nobody's scared of the Chiefs anymore. Honestly, it's going to be a long season for the Chiefs. And this is football is one of those games where, and one of those sports where it's like, people aren't necessarily worried. Like, you don't get any lifetime achievement awards. What you did last season doesn't matter. You want to know why? How I know that shit? 2018, 2019 season. The Jaguars, the season before that, almost went to the Super Bowl. They were fucking terrible the next season. No one gave a fuck. Every team came in there. And, bro, at one point, we lost, like, fucking 8 games in a row. 8 fucking games in a row or some shit like that. After we beat the Patriots, it was downhill from that. I'm like, God damn, this team is nothing. 2 more games to go. So the Chargers beat the Browns 49-42. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And this is really credit to the Chargers, specifically because I love when the Chargers are able to put, like I said in my last podcast, when the Chargers won on Monday Night Football, when the Chargers play winning and exciting football at home, I feel like that does so much for their brand because, like I said, I feel like they're at such a big disadvantage being in Los Angeles. Their fan base isn't as big as it should be. And anytime they are able to win games like this and win in exciting fashion, that only helps them continue to grow their fan base and build something special in Los Angeles. Justin Herbert, over the past 3 weeks, like his jersey says, he has been 10 out of fucking 10. Oh, my God. Over the past 3 weeks, he has 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. For those of you guys who don't know, that's the most across that span. 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And over the course of those 3 games, they have beat quality teams. They beat the Raiders, they beat the Chiefs, and they beat the Browns. I want to say something, and I want to give credit to where credit is due. Brandon Staley, the Chargers head coach, he deserves flowers, for sure. He has turned it around. Complete 360 for the Chargers as an organization, as a team. You want to know why? Because yesterday's game was a game that the Chargers would have lost last year. I know for a fact the Chargers would have lost that game last year. Cleveland ran the ball down their throats. When you have a team, look, and you could probably look this stat up. Teams that usually run for more than 225 yards in a game usually win that game. And the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, the Browns running game was just smashing the Chargers in the mouth. It was running the ball down their throat. Nevertheless, they didn't stop believing. They didn't stop fighting, and you can credit that to the coaching staff. They go for it. They go for it on 4th down. They're never scared to be aggressive, and that is part of why they were able to turn things around yesterday. His team is aggressive. His team is stingy. His team is selfish on defense. They get after it. They create turnovers. They capitalize on plays. That's what an aggressive team does. They're selfish. They're about their success. They're about it. Justin Herbert was incredible yesterday. 26 of 43, 398 yards, 4 touchdowns, and added a touchdown on the ground as well. He accounted for over 400 yards of offense. Austin Eckler, 17 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. Austin Eckler Austin Eckler scored 3 touchdowns yesterday. Jesus, he's something. 5 receptions, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. Shout out to all the people who have Austin Eckler on their fantasy team. Let me count this out. So that's 66. That's 6 points. He has 5 receptions. That's 5 points. 53 yards. That's 10 points. So that's 16 plus 18. That's 34 fucking points. That's something. Woo! Credit to Mike Williams. Mike Williams had a big fucking game. 8 receptions, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's something. Keenan Allen, 6 receptions, 75 yards. And I'm done giving credit to where credit is due. I honestly, even though it was a good game and it was a tight game, the Browns should have won this game. They honestly choked this game away. As I said, they were up. I didn't say this before. They were up 27-13, and they were in complete control of the game. The Browns' defense was just bad. Like they let up way too many mental lapses and just let up too many big plays. Mike Williams was open in the back, for his second touchdown. He was wide open. Too many defensive lapses on behalf of the Browns. And honestly, I have to give this loss to Kevin Stefanski and his coaching staff. You should never lose games like that where you're dominating on the ground and you're playing smash mouth football. Nick Chubb had that thing rolling. Nick Chubb looked unstoppable. Kareem Hunt looked unstoppable. And another thing, man, what's up with Odell and Baker? They have not been able to click, get on the same page, nothing. Like, what is up with that? Like, I feel like the Browns pay Odell Beckham too much money for him not to be able to, like, it just honestly doesn't even make sense. Like, are they ever gonna click? What's going on with that? Like, why can't they seem to get on the same page? When is Odell gonna have a big game? When is Odell gonna show up? This loss goes on the Browns defense. Baker Mayfield, 23 of 32, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Nick Chubb, 21 carries, 161 yards, a touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 12 carries, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Njoku, 7 receptions, 149 yards, touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 5 receptions, 70 yards. Like this was just a high-scoring game, like a high-scoring affair. Baker had 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb had a touchdown. Kareem Hunt had 2 touchdowns. Mike Williams had 2 touchdowns. Austin Eckler had 3 touchdowns. Justin Herbert had 5 touchdowns. Like, this was a very, 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 very entertaining game, very good game. And let me get into the last game that I'm going to cover for this episode of the podcast. So we got the Packers beating the Bengals 25-22. And the story of this game is going to be the 7 missed field goals in the final 3 minutes of overtime. And the story is going to go to Mason Crosby missing X amount, 4 out of 7 kicks of the day and all this other stuff. But let's be honest. And let's keep it 100. The Packers offense stalled in the red zone on multiple times. The Packers a possession where Aaron Jones had the 54-yard run or 56-yard run right before, like towards the end of the fourth quarter, should have been able to put the game away right there. They shouldn't have even had to settle for a field goal, but just poor execution in the red zone in that situation is what led to the whole botched field goal nonsense that happened. That shit was just pointless and stupid as fuck in my opinion. In my opinion, everyone had the Packers winning. I want to give credit to where credit is due. The Bengals did fight hard. The Bengals fought hard. Probably would have been able to win the game if, and I know sports isn't played in ifs. It's played in reality. What happened is what happened. But I definitely want to give credit to where credit is due. The Bengals fought hard. The Bengals are not a gimme win. It's not my older brother's Bengals anymore. And what I mean by that is the Bengals have turned a new leaf, turned a corner. Like, they are actually a good team. They're a team where if you have them on your schedule, you're gonna have to fight to beat them. You're gonna have to but if you're a team with championship aspiration like the Packers, who have one of the best, damn, this is getting really annoying, who have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, that should be a game that you must win. Aaron Rodgers, 27 of 39, 344 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Jones, 14 carries, 103 yards. Devontae Adams, man, Mr. Pull Up the Tape, 11 receptions, 206 yards, and a touchdown. As I said before, not your older brother's Bengals. Joe Burrow, 26 of 38, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Samaje Perine, 11 carries, 59 yards, a receiving touchdown. Joe Mixon, 10 carries, 33 yards, a touchdown. And Jamar Chase. Oh, my God. Jamar Chase is a stud. Jamar Chase is something. God damn, he's going to win Rookie of the Year for sure if he keeps this up. 6 receptions, 159 yards, and a touchdown, okay? Jamar Chase is something. That's going to conclude this episode and today's podcast. This is episode 72 of Pull Up the Tape. I want to thank everybody that continuously rocking with me, listening, viewing. The numbers have dipped, but nevertheless, I'm not going to get discouraged. Like, it just makes no sense for me to allow something like this to discourage me from continue going. I want to do this shit for the next 20-something years. I'm just started year 2 of this, so I'm not going to let this discourage me at all. Nevertheless, I do ask that if you make it all the way to this podcast, to this point in the podcast, share this podcast with anybody you know that loves sports. Tell your mom, tell your friends, tell your dad, tell your teammates, the whole hood. Tell everyone you know. Viral movie. Long live Kobe. Long live Gigi. I'm out of this bitch.